clear my throat. You can even see the motion that I did on screen. Yeah, because I really like this because it tracks my eyes a lot better, and the motions are a lot more realistic. Because before, like, it was really, I guess, cartoony, like, with how much I moved around, but this is much more realistic, and I'm here to lurk today, final day of boot camp. Well, hey, best of luck to you, Wiz. And since I do have a podcast radio background, hopefully my voice provides some entertainment for you. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got all but 2 of the Triforce charts because of Tingle overcharging me for everything, because it's Tingle. I think what I'll do is I'm going to go to Outset Island first, and I'm going to get some rupees and then come back and get the last 2 charts. Because I think I need about roughly 600, maybe 900 rupees. But yeah, I'm using a software called Webcam Motion Capture, so it does all this motion capture via my webcam, along with the VC Face, which was the program I was using before. What's really cool about it is, like I said, like my eye movements. It actually detects my pupil movements, unlike VC Face, which kind of did, but... Is that a Triforce chart over there? Or shard, rather? Oh, it is. It's like right over there. It's like I was intending to come here to get rupees, but I guess I'm getting a Triforce piece. Also, something I'd like to point out here is, like, this is probably the most insecure system of hiding pieces of the Triforce ever. Yeah, let's just put them in metal chests and dump them into the ocean. Like, that'll keep Ganondorf away from them. Honestly, the quickest money is either treasure charts or the cannon minigame. A lot of people prefer the boring course, but I can't stand it. Yeah, I don't really need a lot of rupees, just enough to get the remaining Triforce charts, because I think it's like 398 rupees a piece, and I've already got 299, so hopefully the Savage Labyrinth has a decent amount. Like, because what I can do is I can just go inside, come back out, go back in. The Triumph Forks. I still, like, the game looks great with the HD textures and so on, and the increased resolution, as well as, like, the 16:9 aspect ratio and the fixed HUD. But it's like, it's crazy to me that this game is 20 years old this year. Because I remember playing this game, like, when it first came out, and it's just crazy that it's this, like, it's been around for 20 years. Because, like I said, when I think of, like, 20-year-old Zelda games, I start thinking of, like, A Link to the Past, or, heck, even the original Zelda, or, like, Zelda 2. But no, the GameCube era is well over 20 years old right now. But I guess I can't be too surprised, because in 3 years, it'll be 20 years since the Wii came out, and in 2 years, it'll be 20 years since the Xbox 360 came out. I still have my old 360 hooked up in the living room because me and my brother just have had no desire to get a Series X or Xbox One. I mean, I do want to get a Series X, but I just haven't been able to afford it. But it's also kind of like a diminishing returns kind of thing. Because if I can play, like, all of my games on PC, then I guess it doesn't really matter if I get a Series X. Taking the long way? Yeah. I gotta do something while I'm having a conversation with chat. Plus, I get to kill things, so coming into the Savage Labyrinth is a good idea. Do you still have your GameCube, Gray? Because I remember, like, when I came over to your house that one time, we played Kirby Air Ride or something. Yeah, Kirby Air Ride and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. And see, it's like, I also think of it this way, like, Twilight Princess, like, I still consider that to be, like, a new Zelda title, but then Twilight Princess came out, what, 2005, 2006? So that's also nearing the 20-year mark. Come on, turn around. I use this area to grind for extra monster drops near the end game too. Yeah, because this is an easy way to just have, like, every monster in the game spawn in one spot. You just keep going down each hole every time. And I hope Wiz was not listening to that, because if he is, then I'm going into the out of context channel. Golden Feathers especially. Oh yeah. See, now that I think about it, I might just go to the first layer, so to speak, and then look for rupees elsewhere. Because I'm not really getting any drops from these enemies now that I think about it. I don't know, it's like the GameCube didn't sell well, and it wasn't considered to be like one of the more popular consoles, but like, the GameCube has so many comfort games for me. Wind Waker being one of them, Smash Bros. Melee being another. It's like, I know that Smash Melee has like a really competitive scene, but like I play it just because it's a comfort game and I played it a lot when I was a kid. Oh yeah, I can give the skull necklaces to that rich guy on Windfall. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like Wind Waker, Wind Waker's a huge comfort game. Super Mario Sunshine, also, that's another one that I love to play. Which eventually I will play Mario Sunshine on stream. Because that's a big thing about, like, my Twitch in specific, is that I like to play games that bring a sense of nostalgia and comfort. Oops, food's done, BRB. Oh, what'd you make? I had some homemade burritos earlier. They were very good. Even if I nearly scalded my mouth with them. See, what's really cool is there's actually a YouTuber that is currently trying to recreate Wind Waker, but with no water. So, like, they're actually rebuilding the open world and building the islands, like, what could potentially be under these islands. So, like, for example, under Windfall is Kakariko Village, and, like, they built a castle town around Hyrule Castle. Like, it's really interesting that somebody's doing that, because it's something that I've always wondered. Like, because as a kid, like, I looked at the ocean of Wind Waker, and I always wondered, like, what would... Because if these are the tip-tops of mountains, like, I always wondered what the islands looked like under the water. But the sad truth is, there's nothing there. It's just not built. It's just all concealed by water. But then there's that YouTuber that I saw who's actually trying to create, like, that same thing that I was thinking of. Like, what would these islands look like under the water? Hey. Yeah, and I'm content with not 100%ing Wind Waker. Like, say, like, the pictograph quest and whatnot. Just because, like, if I try to go out and, like, 100% every single game that I play, then I'm gonna be streaming the same game for a long time. I mean, just so long as I beat, like, the main stuff and, like, do the stuff that I want to do, I think I'm content with that. So this guy here, like, I've always hated his character because he went from rags to riches, and it's like, well, way to forget where you came from, ass. It's like, I could just destroy all of his pottery. Okay, Spoils bag. 26 skull necklaces. Here you go, you ass. Ooh, speaking of, that's basically what I've been doing. I just platinum Spyro 1 and 2. Well, did you have some fun? No! You're gonna give me rupees, you're not gonna give me these damn treasure charts! Oh, you took most of them and you gave me a stupid treasure chart? You've gotta be kidding me! Oh, and he gives me 40 rupees. What a cheapskate. Wow, what an absolute loser. I hope he, I'm not gonna say that. I've got little stickers on all my disc cases to show which ones are completed and which are 100%. Which platform are you playing it on? Or, well, I guess you're playing on a PlayStation, I guess, because Platinum. I wonder if the lady takes these toy pendants. See, now we're talking. Like, just one joy, like, a couple joy pendants, and I got 100 rupees, where that other guy was like, here, just take, like, 40 rupees. And then gives me a lousy treasure chart that I'm not gonna do because I hate the treasure chart quests. Spyro's under PS4. But I got GameCube, Wii, Wii U, PS4, Switch 3DS, and your emulator. Yeah, so you're pretty much set. Like, that's kind of like how I am. Like, I have all the consoles that I really want. I mean, I do want to get, like, a PS5 or... Well, I'm more so leaning towards the Series X just because of the backwards compatibility and the FPS boost and the auto HDR. Because, a lot of older titles, like on the 360, like have an FPS boost and upscaling and like auto HDR, which makes the games like really shine. Whereas on the PC, I can do the same thing, but you know, not everything on the 360 is like it doesn't all work right now. Like for example, Fable 2, which is a game that I want to play. Right now, like, it has some texture issues and performance crashes that don't make it viable for playing it on PC. Okay, so let me look at the map again. I want something that runs every Halo. My computer won't quite do that. Okay, so there's one directly north of here. I'm sure your computer could probably play, like, Halo 1 and 2. And I honestly, like, I wouldn't bother with Halo Infinite, really. Like, it was a fun game, and it had a really interesting concept. It's just that 343 and Microsoft just had no idea what they were gonna do with it. Like... A couple years before it came out, the game was, like, barely in, like, a pre-production phase. And it's a fun game, and it has a really solid multiplayer. It's just that 343 is just so terrible at actually releasing updates for it. Like, it didn't ship with Forge, like, Infection just came to the game. It's, like... And I've heard, like, rumors that they're switching to Unreal Engine, because the Slipspace engine that they have been using is just so terrible to work with. And it's like they set up this plot for like a DLC and everything, but it's not the same kind of ending as like Halo 2 or Halo 3 where it's like, it was definitive and you're like, okay, yeah, you know, I'm ready for the next one. I don't know how they're going to continue the story. I've only played 1, 2, and 3. Well, to be honest with you, I would really skip out on 5 and Infinite. Like, just stop at 4. Like, Reach ODST and 4 are worth playing, but I don't think Halo 5 or Infinite are really worth it. Oh, lovely. There's a ship right there. It's like I hear it, but... There we go. Maybe I played Reach. I know there was a firefight mode I loved. So, Reach and ODST both have firefight. And I would... Like, both of them are really fun. Like, firefight mode is probably one of the highlights. Like, I don't... Like, I'll play PvP. Like, PvP... I usually stick to SWAT, but firefight mode's really fun because it's PvE. More of a co-op based experience. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing because I need to figure out where the next chart piece is first. Okay, so there's one this way. This isn't taking as long as I thought it was going to take, so I might be able to beat this today if I play my cards right. My friends and I would always do infinite ammo, but can only use one gun. Halo Reach had some of the best Forge. Like, I was just shocked at how cool Forge mode was for Halo Reach with Forge World. And then I go into VR chat years and years later, like, and somebody recreated Forge World in VR chat, and the lighting and the environment is just incredible. Like, when I was a kid and I played Halo 1, just looking up at the ring and being mesmerized at it was just so cool. It's like, wow, there's like landmasses right above me, and there could be potentially people. So when I played that, I was just amazed by it, and then I do it in VR, and it's like, it's even better. It's like, this is the coolest shit. I don't know if we ever played Halo together, now that I think about it. My introduction to Forge was Red vs. Blue. Well, hey, that's a pretty good introduction, I'd say. I remember in, like, 2009, I stayed up, like, for 2 days straight watching, Red vs. Blue. I'm not proud of that, because I remember, like, me and my brother were at the computer watching it, and my brother fell asleep at the computer, and then I just kept watching it. But it's like, yeah, Red vs. Blue, I stayed up like 2 days straight watching the Blood Gulch Chronicles. Nowadays, I can stay up late, but I don't like, I couldn't stay up all night, really any time, like, anymore. was literally hitting its bombs in midair. Alright, so the piece is over here somewhere. Now that company is a bit problematic. I'm just watching Ruby and none of their other content. Yeah, that's fair. I like their old stuff really a lot better. I actually had to unsubscribe to them because they're just doing clickbaity stuff now. And I don't like that. It's like, yes, I understand the algorithm is one thing, but like, when you're such a big company as like Rooster Teeth, it's just like, why? Trends, welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. Hi. Hopefully I'll be finishing Wind Waker today. And that way I can move on to the next big thing. High hopes for a heroic spirit. I know, I dressed out for this and everything. Because it's like, I've been playing Wind Waker for so long, and it's like, it's not that I don't like playing Wind Waker, it's just that I realize I've been playing this, like, probably the slowest out of anything. Which, to be fair, because of my work schedule, I don't get to stream as often as I'd like. But at the same time, it's like, I'm still, like, super slow at finishing this game, because there were times where I would stream this in, like, 2-hour increments, and I was just, like, discovering the map, so I wasn't actually doing anything, like, really entertaining. That glasses adjust. Yeah. So that's my webcam motion capture. It's just, it's a subscription-based service. It's like $2 a month, but it's worth it, I think. Because VC Face is cool, and I love it. But at the same time, it is a little more cartoony, and it doesn't detect my pupil movement really at all, except for minuscule movements. Where this actually, like, puts a grid on my face and my arms, and creates a skeleton, so it's a lot more realistic tracking. And it's not as exaggerated. But I think it's more so just I like the pupil movements a lot more, because it makes me feel more alive, instead of just like, it's static pupils like in VC Face. Are like all of these Triforce shards guarded by ships with bombs? I mean, I don't mind, but at the same time. I gotta take them out because if I don't, they're gonna be shooting at me and taking pot shots while trying to get the Triforce piece. Okay, now I've got to go back around the island because I don't have any idea where the Triforce piece is. I need that shiny little... You're kidding. It's right here. I'm gonna be so surprised if I actually get... Well, what do you know? I actually got it. Watch it be like a rupee or something, or like a singular rupee. Also, like, for a second there was water that was going into the boat, so I think we're about to sink. Okay, so there's actually just one square away from here. At, Great Fish Island. And now that I think about it, like, looking back at Wind Waker, the whole sailing, like, being extremely slow thing, like, as an adult playing this, I definitely see where people are coming from with the slow sailing bit. Because, at least, like, in Ocarina of Time, for example, or Twilight Princess, you had Hyrule Field, which, there were things to do in Hyrule Field in the open world, but Wind Waker, it's just, there's a lot of empty space in between the islands. Like, there's a couple little random events in some of these squares, but they're still relegated to the squares. So you don't really get a lot of, like, open world exploration outside of, like, the pre-existing islands. Which I think that's a pretty valid criticism on Wind Waker. But as a kid, I really didn't mind. Like, I just was happy to be playing a Zelda game. And I think that's one of the things that, like, when you love something like that, and you're able to, like, critique it and notice, like, its faults and accept them, I think that's a lot better, I think. Yeah, sneezed. Yeah, but like I said, it just doesn't seem very secure to just throw pieces of the Triforce in the sea like this. Chew. Excuse me. Okay, there's one more over that way. Shoo. Maybe I need to take a drink. Because I'm sneezing up a storm. Quite literally. Plus, with the motion capture, you can actually see me take a drink, too, with my hand like that. Okay, it's just one square above. Oh, so Gray, if you're still in the chat, I don't know if you got the announcement, but I'll say it again just to kind of like reiterate, or just basically say again. So on Friday, if things go well, I haven't gotten an email back confirming just yet, but I mean, it's looking like this will be the day. On Friday, I will be having Matt Hill, the voice actor for Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy, Soren from My Little Pony, and Kira Yamato from Gundam Seed will be on my stream, and he'll be answering questions. I'll be doing like an interview-based format with him, so I'm really excited for it. Like, I interviewed him almost 10 years ago, and that's how I know him. But I'm really excited to have him on, because like that last time I interviewed him, I was very amateurish. I was just starting out doing this sort of thing. But it's gonna be really fun. I knew that was a bad idea. Okay, those ones are far enough away. I don't think they're going to be able to hit me. But I think it'll be unique because it'll be. What's that? Let me try this side. Oh, are you kidding me? They're literally tossing everything at me. Okay, I need to move back a little bit to find the position of that Triforce shard. But it'll be interesting because I'll be a VTuber like interviewing an actual voice actor like who's been in the industry for a number of years. I just think it'll be a unique thing. Okay, so it's right over there. See, it's over here somewhere. I thought it was right next to this one. Okay. Because I know you don't have to be like in the exact spot for it, but at the same time. Okay, I think that's all the Triforce pieces that I can actually get right now. I think I have to get... I'll need to get the rupees first. But, what I can do... Oh, I have to actually get out of the... Really? So let me look at the map here and see where I can go farm some at. I don't need a lot, but I need enough. Well, I guess I can go to Dragon Roost and do that minigame. Because I think I just need, like, roughly about, I don't know, like, 200 something more? Because he charges $398 to decipher a Triforce chart. Oh yeah, plus I haven't gotten the treasure chests here either, so... I think there's like a secret area over here, if I remember right. Like, you know, if I remember right, there's like a rock or something. Yeah, right here. Because I remember this is like another labyrinth type area. Don't remember exactly what's here, but chances are there'll be rupees. Okay, that was pretty cool. Like, the moment that I brought my sword out and targeted them, parry, and dead. So, like, even singular rupees are good for me right now. Plus, I'm guessing that it'll probably be like a piece of heart or a joy pendant or something as the reward. But hey, I'm doing bonus stuff that I probably wasn't going to do in the first place, so it's nice to kind of like go off to the side and do these while I can. Right over here. I guess I don't need the bombs equipped anymore, so I'll get the boomerang. I mean, I'm getting my wish. I'm getting rupees, just not a lot of them. Like, singular rupees, or like 10 rupees, 5 rupees. I'm not getting a lot, but I'm getting some. Let it rain! See, that's not bad, 50 rupees. Still not quite enough to where I need, but still something. Because again, the reason that I came to Dragon Roost is because that mail sorting minigame will give me some rupees. And technically I could just do the math and see how much I need, but you know what, I'll just do that right now. I need 796 rupees in total in order to get enough for what I need from Tingle. So like, I get it, like if you're skilled at something, don't ever work for free. But at the same time, Tingle, it's like the world is like hanging in the balance and you're worried about monetary gain. Plus, any opportunity to go to Dragon Roost is a good opportunity, because I love the music. Nope, don't go up there. I think a lot of people do. Well, let's see if my reaction time is up to par. Nope. Yeah, my reaction time is about as slow as a snail. I mean, sure, I'm getting a little lucky by getting some that are duplicates and I just toss them again, but... Okay, so 1 rupee per letter, that's not bad. See, I get lucky whenever I get duplicates like that, because I just toss them again. I'm not gonna make it! I'm not gonna make it! No! I was so close, 23, damn it! I mean, at least this is a quick way to get the amount of rupees that I need. It's just my slow reaction time is just not enough. And my luck, because like if I get lucky and I get the same ones like over and over, I'm so... like, I can't, like, miss a single one. Okay. Let's get to deep concentration mode here. No, I didn't mean to do that, fuck! It's like 23 is my limit. Like, I can't go past 23. Okay, that was a little lucky getting like 3 in a row from the same thing. Oh my god, I got 25! Woohoo! I gotta be more confident in myself. Like, I just don't think that I'm able to do it, and then I end up doing it miraculously. Our new helper, is that the guy that's outside, like, begging to, like, get up there? But hey, I got enough rupees, so now I can go to Cheapskate Tingle and actually get the remaining Triforce shards. I think it's the guy that's over here somewhere. Oh, he's not there anymore. Oh yeah, there's another chest over here now that I remember. Just a sign that points up. For reals, though. There we go. Okay, so I could have done that the whole time. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm getting more rupees out of the deal, but at the same time, I didn't have to do the letter sorting minigame. I could have just done that. But at the same time, the more the merrier, I guess. Alright, where's Tingle Island? See, it's like an island that I've been to numerous times, but I always forget the location of it on the map. Okay, Tingle Island's up there. I've got time. I may as well just sail there, just in case I run into anything on the way, but Plus, I can always do this, too. Like, just speed up the game. But this is, like, doubling the game speed, so... Like, I can only imagine how long it would take. Oh, hey Prism, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. I'm Eno. I am a variety streamer. I'm playing Wind Waker right now. I've been playing this for like way too long, but I decided to kind of like double down and start streaming it as often as I could to finish it. But yes, welcome Raiders. I am Eno. Thank you for the raid, Prism. Right now, I'm in probably the most tedious part of the entire game, which is doing the Triforce chart side quest, and I absolutely hate it. You know what? Where is Tingle Isle again? Right there. I'll just warp there now that I think about it. We stand together, warriors of this realm. Oh, yeah, I could have teleported there. And then I can speed it up, too. Yeah, so this is actually the GameCube version, but I'm using an HD texture pack that enhances all of the existing textures. I don't think it's using any Wind Waker HD assets, so this is all from the GameCube version. But I've adjusted it slightly, just so it runs at a 16:9 aspect ratio, and I upscaled it to 1080p. So it's the same resolution that you would see on the Wii U, just the lighting is probably the only thing that doesn't look fantastic, but what can you do? How was your stream, Prism? What were you streaming? Cult of the Lamb. I've heard good things about that game. Like, it's really, like... It's fun, and it's a little cutesy, but it's also, like, really dark. I'm gonna be so mad if he charges, like, more for the last chart. But that is something Tingle 100% would do. But it's like, the fate of the world is hanging in the balance, and then Tingle's like, yep, you gotta give me rupees. Yeah, it's like, I guess they're his brothers, or they're like, members of his little club or cult or what have you. Yeah, even Majora's Mask Tingle's just like, you know... The moon's falling, but I'm gonna have to charge you for these maps. It's like, it doesn't matter that I'm probably going to die along with everybody else in this world, but it's like, hey, I need the money. Like, I gotta pay my bills. So I get where he's coming from, but situationally, not the best. Okay. So that means I've just got 2 more pieces. His GBA game is just literally trying to get as much money as possible to reach the top of a god's tower. Once there, he just wants the money. He doesn't care about becoming a god. I'm not surprised. Like, I know there's like a lot of like really weird spin-off Tingle games too, like this one for the 3DS as well. It's like, I like Tingle, but I don't like Tingle that much. Also, I'm using webcam motion capture, so that's why my tracking looks a bit different. It tracks my pupils' movements a lot better, so it's not like I don't look as dead with VC Face, because VC Face is cool, but adding this additional tracking layer really helps, because I don't look as exaggerated and cartoonish, which I guess that's kind of what I'm going for, but I like the more realistic movement. And the pupils, of course. Hey, Big, good to see ya. Haven't seen you in well, Haven't seen you since the last stream. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I love VC Face because I'm actually using it in tandem with webcam motion capture. I had a leap motion to use like my hands and stuff, but the webcam motion capture for me is just a lot better in my experience because I don't have to hook it up to my shirt. But I ended up sending the leap motion to Sue. I sent it to Wiz, and then he's going to send it to Sue. So Sue is going to have have hands on her stream pretty soon because she just became a VTuber somewhat recently. Leap scene's useless and one has nubs. Yeah, because like I can't like flip the bird or like give a thumbs up, but at the very least you can see like my expressiveness or whenever I'm putting my hand like on my chin or something, or like if I'm adjusting my glasses. But I like how whenever I have my hands up, it just immediately goes back down. It doesn't like stand in place like leap motion does. What do you use for your VTuber, Prism? Like, do you use Live 2D or VC Face? Okay, it's in this island. Blech. I think she uses Live 2D. Yeah, because I noticed that yours is a 2D VTuber, whereas mine's 3D. At some point, I'd like to have a 2D VTuber, just so I can interchange and be a little bit more like on the fly with the stuff that I do. But I think the only issue with that is that with the 3D version of my avatar, I'm able to switch clothing on the fly because I've got like 6 outfits that I can use, whereas with a 2D VTuber, I'd have to have like each individual outfit like drawn, and I mean it's the same thing as getting the clothes in 3D, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe when I have more disposable funds at my disposal. I did not want to equip the Tingle Turner. Yeah, I started with VC Face and V-Roid with my webcam. Then I caved for V-Bridger since I got the L2D, so I got V-Bridger, VTube Studio, and used my iPhone for facial capture. How good is the iPhone capture? Like, I looked into that, but I haven't really actually used it. Because, webcam motion capture lets me use an iPhone app in order to track. But at the same time, like for me, I don't have a very big desk, so I don't really have a lot of space to do it. It's like right here. There we go. Luckily, I got a real cheap deal from someone who now left the tubing and rigging scene, but yeah, 3D and 2D both have their advantages, just depends on preference. You're kidding me, it's a freaking rupee! I'm still mad I missed it. Yeah, I like my, I do like the 3D, just because I can move my ears like this, and then you can see, like, the physics on my flower. So I think I need to probably destroy all these cannons before I move on, because they're just going to distract me. Okay, what does the chart say? Okay, so it's like up here. Oh, there we go. But, you know, iPhones are expensive, so I use Meow Face on my Android when it's 3D for better capture, better tracking. Do you just have it, like, set up on your desk, or do you have, like, a mount that you use for your phone? Because I have one of those, like, V-shaped desks, and I'm kind of, like, at a corner of the desk where my monitor is. So I don't have a lot of space to really put stuff. Selfie stand. Okay, one more. But yeah, like, I definitely think that this looks a lot better. Like, I noticed, oh, geez, my eye. I noticed that you were changing your design a little bit. I looked at the art channel on your server and noticed you changed your design a little bit. Wiggly ears. Yeah, it's very wiggly ears. I think I might... Yeah, I can actually reach up there, but my hand kind of goes through my head unless I'm, like, in a weird position. I'll put the phone off to the side because I've seen many VTubers not looking directly at the camera, but to the side where the monitor is, so it's not like you have to... Yeah, that's fair. I thought about putting my camera over to my other monitor, but the only issue I have there is with the cord. The cord's not very long. Okay, so the last one is right over there. I don't know, chat. I might be able to beat Wind Waker today if I play my cards right. See, can I play with my ears? No, there's no, like, collision or colliders with my hands. So it's not like VRC where I can just play with my ears. I have ear wiggles too. Honestly, I think 3D is good. The best advantage to L2D is the amount of drawn detail you can get away with depending on the artist and rigger. However, the same can be said about 3D. Just really all depends on how much you're willing to shill out who you talk to. I have a few artists, like I have a few artist friends who I could probably contact. Like, I think the only issue that I have is, like, finding somebody who can rig, like, a 2D model like that. Because, like, my budget's not the best, and finding, like, the money to actually do that is pretty hard. I do have some 2D designs, though. In fact, like, my model was actually based on some artwork that I had done. So, like, the artist, like, took the artwork and built the model from those pictures. And, of course, like, the dress model was, or the dress outfit was made from your artwork, Prism. So it's based off of the one that you did for me. They were a little concerned at first when they drew it because there was a lot of, like, sharp lines and stuff. They didn't know how to do it in my shaded art style. But I think they did pretty well. I mean, it kind of looks more like a robe than a dress in some places, but I still like it. Okay, so the Triforce shard is next to this watchtower? Or shard. I keep saying chart and shard. Well, maybe it's in the treasure chest out here. Because we got Toucan Sam up here with some other bokoblins. I need to equip my bow. Dang invincibility frames! I mean, I guess that works too, but... A Bokababa seed. Which I could use to get, like, the potions over at the Forest Haven, but at the same time, like, Granny Soup is the best item in the game, so there's really no point. It's like, what's the point of getting potions whenever you can just get Granny Soup, and it's the equivalent of 2 potions? Okay, so I guess the piece is here, but it's not on the platform. Cliff Plateau Island. Okay, where's the... Is it that island or that island, I wonder? I love Wind Waker, but there's a lot of empty space. I'm gonna take a guess and say it's that one, because it's at the very end of the map. And it kind of resembles what I'm looking for. I think the thing about me beating this, probably today, is that it's always sad whenever I beat a game that I played for such a long time, because it's like the journey's over. It's like technically, if I just don't play it, it doesn't have to end. But at the same time, like all good things must come to an end eventually. Just like me, completely oblivious to the fact that I went by the island I need to go to. But it's also the very last one, so I'm not really too worried about me getting lost too much. That being said, though, I didn't see this island pretty much at all. Okay, so it's like directly in front of that. Luckily, I don't have to fight any enemies this time around. I do like how the grappling hook has more utility than just as a weapon or like something you use to traverse. Like you actually use it on the open world. I find that really cool that they actually found like a second utility for the item. However, I don't think the grappling hook's that long to go to the very bottom of the ocean and pick up pieces of the Triforce. I have 16 sea shards because I just do not want to do it. Which I think what I'll do is I'll beat the game, and then if I have time for other stuff afterwards, I'll do some of the side stuff. I definitely also have to save after this, just so I don't have to do all of that again in case the game crashes. Earlier I was talking about how there's a modder and a map creator who is essentially creating a Wind Waker, but without water. So they're taking, like, the islands at the very top and the story concept of how all the islands are the mountaintops of Hyrule, but they're taking the story concept and they're essentially unflooding Hyrule. So what they're doing in one of the videos that I saw is that they actually created a castle town around this moat of Hyrule, and they're creating, like, an actual open world that's unique to Wind Waker, and what it would look like without water. Like, when I was a kid looking out over, like, the waves and the beach and whatnot out there, like, I always wanted to explore this area and be like, oh, I wonder if, like, Kokiri Forest from Ocarina of Time's over there, or, oh, well, what if I could go to Lake Hylia or Zora's Domain or something? Like, I always wanted to do that as a kid, but I just was not aware of, like, how limited scale of games could be at the time. But, like, now, 20 years later, people are able to actually do something like that. I think that's really cool. Also, I need to save. And before I go in there, I'd also just want to, like, criticize the design of Hyrule Castle's architecture. So this is supposed to be, like, the entrance to a castle. Like, if you were to walk into this castle, like, I just don't understand the architecture of this room. It's like there's no... I mean, maybe it's like a grand, like, foyer or something. Foyer.
Yep. Yep.
You have deceived yourself. Did you think you'd be safe inside the castle? Yeah, Ganon sounds like he's got something in his throat. Now that my power has been restored, there is no safe haven for you. I have taken your precious Zelda, and here you shall fall into eternal slumber. Aw, oh, man, again? Yeah. I gotta burn the capes off before I can hurt them. Come on, big guy. It's like they both got one piece of armor. Like, he's got the helmet, the other one's got the armor. Oh, he got me in the middle of a parry. Now that I think about it, I should just use the boomerang. I don't know why I didn't just do that from the start. Yeah, but if I'm on the topic of, like, nostalgia and just remembering this game, like, I always thought it was cool as hell that you could look at these stained glass windows over here, and then you could see the sages from Ocarina of Time in Wind Waker's, like, art style, quote-unquote. Because, like, Wind Waker, like, it was obviously advertised as a sequel to Ocarina of Time, and it's mentioned, Ocarina of Time is mentioned multiple times. But, like, actually, like, physically seeing evidence of that is really cool. Because Zelda has a very convoluted timeline, and I like it whenever the consistency is clear-cut, as far as the timeline is concerned. Whereas in other games, like, it's very confusing as to where does this game take place in the timeline. Just, like, the endless internet arguments of, like, what... like, where this game takes place, or where does this game take place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, just looking at Hyrule Castle like this, or how it's on a moat, like it's surrounded by this lake, and then there's a bridge to it, it's just like, I understand, like, back then, like, of course, they didn't really, since this is the end of the game, there's really not a lot to see as far as, like, the environment goes, but, like, just, I don't know, just architecturally, and, like, it just doesn't make sense for them to just put that here, and then there's no, like, town or anything nearby. But I suppose, like, these ruins could be, like, a castle town or something. Okay, so there's actually a... Why is everything breaking? I just came back from eating. What's breaking? Is, like, there's something wrong with the stream? Well, while you answer that, it gives me time to look for a glitch that I remember doing as a kid. But I gotta wait for YouTube ads. Just came back to shattering glass noise. Oh, okay. So I was a little concerned that there was something wrong on my end. Okay, how did he do that? Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about the destruction of your eardrums. So I don't remember the other method, but I'm gonna try the method that... Oh, hey, a dark nut. So there's a method to actually get out of the map here. There's more than one, but the one I'm gonna try is this one. See if it still works. Maybe I have to be like in a specific spot for it. Almost. fell anyway. I used to remember how to do this, like, really well, but... Here, let me see if this is the one I'm looking for. No, it's the same location. Oh, thank you for the follow! I think it's Ermine Leader? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. My reading comprehension is about as good as a first grader. Yeah, thank you for the follow, and thank you for popping in with the raid. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and thanks for popping in. So, the glitch that I'm trying to do is you can get into Hyrule Field, like, up on this area here. There's two methods to do it that I'm aware of. I know that you can freeze an enemy and do it that way, but I can't seem to find a video of that specific exploit. So, what I'm gonna try is I'm gonna try the hook shot again because I found a video that has somebody doing that. But we'll give it a shot, see if it works. Oh, nice! I knocked him off the edge. Okay, so what did he do here? So he was like, he's doing something like this. Like at the very edge. I mean, I won't spend like too much time messing with this, but I really do want to at least try and see if I can get up there. Okay, so let me see that again. Okay, so the angle that this person is at is like kind of like right up below it, like to the point where I can almost not reach it. So let me try that. Yeah, I think I'll just abandon this. Maybe I'll try it after I do all the other stuff. Because I don't want to spend too much time on it. Because, like, if I can find the method that I used when I was a kid... Because it seems like it's a lot easier than I'm making it out to be, but I'm just incompetent, as I am with a lot of games. I should have brought some forest water now that I think about it, because since I'm going to be fighting the bosses again, I can just use the instant kill technique. Or do that. Burned you bum. Yeah, all my fur is now charred. Link, no! I'm gonna I could just climb up to the top like this. Easy as pie. I would have been devastated how, like, if I had hit the lava on the rebound of that, that would have been just absolutely embarrassing. No, you're kidding me! No, no, no! Link, you moron! Oh, I hate this. I'm guessing, like, I'm just overcomplicating it. Well, hey, at least I got it whenever it fell. Because, like, I see these water containers, but, like, I'm not sure what it wants me to do with them. Like, I see the, like, the eruptions here that'll lead me up. So I wonder if I go down to that one, if it'll let me just use the Deku Leaf from there. Well, you know, it would be great if it actually did it. Yeah, it's like it waited perfectly to the amount of time where the thing was gonna wear off. Yeah, I'm gonna try the Deku Leaf again. Because I feel like I'm missing something. This is probably a lot more simple than I think it is. But I'm just not smart with these kinds of things. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, I'm saving this room for later. Yeah, screw this room. Yeah, like, I'll just do everything else but this room. Oh yeah, that's right, I can use ice arrows. Duh. Ugh, some of these game mechanics are the bane of my existence! Ah! Eno's Complaining Soapbox, brought to you by Twitch TV. Twitch TV, where you can watch all of your favorite Twitch streamers live. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I don't know, it's just like these switches I've always hated, because, like, whenever you hit it with the Deku Leaf, like, it's very particular about what direction it actually hits, it detects. So sometimes when you hit it, it just does not move at all. Or it'll go the opposite direction. Like that. No, go the correct way. This looks like it's gonna be an experience. Yeah, it will, because I fucking hate this. It's like, because like I'm trying to push it this way, but it just refuses to go fast enough. It's just a mechanic that I just despise. Because it's just crap. It's crap. It's just horribly done. Like I said, I can criticize Wind Waker because I love Wind Waker. But I will point out a lot of these problems that it has, like this puzzle. Because, like, for example, now I can't even hit it. Unless this is part of the same... Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it is the final dungeon, so I'm not, like, too upset. I'm gonna fall. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Eno very angry. Would you say it's craptastic, craptacular? Oh yeah, it's horrible. Like, this design is just awful. Like, I get what they're going for at this part, but it's like, it's just not designed well, I don't think. I'm not a game designer, and I'm just complaining, but at the same time, it's like, there's gotta be a better way. Because, like, the detection on this is just not good at all. Because, like, it'll either go, like, really fast the way you want it to go, or it'll go extremely slow, and you have to hit it, like, 4 times before it actually moves. Well, you know, quit complaining. Do you want to be timed out, Blaze? Because that's how you get timed out. I'm kidding, of course, but still. I will complain as long as it takes. Legitimately, though, trends, like, teasing is fine, but please don't. Like, please don't.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, all of you are gonna get detention. Okay, there we go. And luckily enough, I had the boomerang equipped. Or not, because it unequips it. Oh, hey, Cranberry, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the raid. What were you streaming? I'm very close to finishing Wind Waker, with a lot of frustration. Wait, where's the last one? There we go. Come to Papa! Hey, there we go. Okay, now... Wait, that's the room I just came in. Now we'll try that other room, now that I remember that I have the ice arrows. Because I'm an idiot. Well, since Cranberry's here, grappling hook time. I'm gonna get this just right, otherwise I'm gonna go face first into the lava. Just like that. Now, maybe if I throw one of the water containers down there, and that'll give me kind of like a buffer zone. That way, if I do miss, I just land in front of it. Okay, so now I can just use the ice arrow right here. There we go. I did it. I feel accomplished. I did something good. Yeah, I like how Valu's tail is still a thing in this, like, alternate, like, pocket dimension with all the bosses. It's like Ganondorf's trying to kill me with all of these bosses from the past, but at the same time, he gives me every opportunity and weakness that this thing has. What am I even being hit with? It really is one of my favorite horror series. It's just atmospheric. Yeah, I think it looks really interesting from what I've seen. It's like a Silent Hill, Alan Wake kind of game. Oh yeah, okay, I'm getting hit with invisible fireballs now, so that's great. Good gravy, he's naked! At least with the Master Sword, it does like a ton of damage too. And I also have the Hero's Charm, so I can tell how much health it has. One interesting thing is the game has almost no music. I have the soundtrack for the entire series, and the CD contains 4 tracks. Like, it doesn't even have, like, ambient music, like... Or is it just, like, complete silence? Gotta get my blanket more comfortable. I mean, may as well, right? Okay, so this is like an Earth Temple type area. Oh, I see what you need me to do now. I need to bring one of the choo-choos over here and then place it down there after it's turned into stone. But I want to kill these Poes first, because I don't want to get, like, hit while I'm trying to do that. Come on in, buddy! Free real estate. Which, speaking of possession, so I learned today that there's going to be another Exorcist movie coming out called Exorcist, like, The Believers or something. And it's going to be like a trilogy of films or something. And it's like, why? Why would you need, like, first of all, like, it kind of takes away from the horror of the original Exorcist by making a sequel or a prequel or whatever. Because it's like, you know, the whole shtick of The Exorcist was that it was scary because it was based on a supposedly true story. If you're just going to make sequels with it, then it's not going to have the same effect. It's kind of the same thing with the Paranormal Activity films. It's like, you kind of take away the luster of it if you make a bunch of sequels. Or The Conjuring. Someone say free real estate. Hey, it's Taylor! I haven't seen you in a stream in forever! Hi, Taylor! How you dare you raise the hot sauce to 50k? Well, I raised it. I thought I told you that I raised it to 50k. I raised it to 50k because it was happening too often, and I didn't have like my hot sauce was old, so I took some time to get a new batch. Oh man, you gotta be kidding me. I gotta get the one in the very back row, but this is blocking it. Here, explode. I mean, I could also try turning them to ice. That could also work, but... Go, Link, go! Go, go, go! Don't stop! No, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, go, 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 go! Link, are you fucking serious right now? What is this bullshit? Are you fucking kidding me? For real? Like they throw a Stalfos in an unskippable cutscene right at the very end when I'm about to go in up the step. Fuck! Listen, I want my Exorcist endgame where all the possessed girls band together to fight Dominus Thanos, the Galactic Pope. Oh, that made me so mad. Like, I don't, like, that was such crap. I was right there, and it's like, oh, nope, unskippable cutscene, and we're gonna throw you into a corner, and that's gonna be it. And that's not even gonna, yep. This is gonna be a fun stream. In the meantime, I'm throwing you over here. Like, this is genuinely frustrating. And then these two block it again. Okay. Now, if Astolfo spawns again, I'm gonna rage. Okay, good. You know, listen, my guy needs more time. Zelda needs more time with her Ganon daddy. I assume I don't know the story. Hello, Desire. Take a little water to help you get ready. No, get rid of the Stolfos. Don't interrupt my gameplay with some bullshit cutscene like that. That was so stupid. Did you just reflect the light into that dude's taint? Yeah, I mean, that's the only way we can expose him. To the light, that is. Expose, I see what you did there. Well, I mean, he's not wearing pants, so... Oh, come on, are you kidding me? At least I can interrupt his attack mid-thing. So I have a hard time believing just the one Poe is able to make that. Unless the mask is like a separate entity or something. There we go. One stack online stuff popped. Okay. Don't forget my water. I have it right here. And you can actually see me drink it now because of my motion capture. See, there's a part of me that thought that I would get the light arrows before I did the bosses, but I guess that's not the case. Oh goody, memories of the Wind Temple. This is like Eno's personal hell. This isn't Eno's realm, this is Eno's personal hell. Oh yeah, I forgot to remove the hand trackers for Dean because it's kind of pointless now. Here, let me see. How do I refund points? Yeah, I'll figure it out later. Alright, where is he? Like I said, this is not Eno's realm. This is Eno's hell. And you're all joining me. It's like, if somebody were to tell me to go to hell, it's like, I'm already there. This is gonna push me down, isn't it? Oh, hey, I actually dodged it. I think I'm like 2 followers away from 100 too, which is great. Stretch for a minute. So I'm almost to 100 followers, which is fantastic. I am really grateful for all of the support. Like, I didn't think that I would get this far this quickly, and I'm really happy about that. I'm happy that I can express myself the way that I want to express myself, and not have to put on a mask and pretend to be somebody that I'm not. Okay, so what am I supposed to do here? Oh yeah, there's a switch down here, isn't there? No. Oh, hook shot right there. Boop. Time to boop the bunny. Sure, I'll take the boops. All of your boops. See? Boop. I booped myself. And thank you for reminding me for the save, Wiz. I'm glad that you didn't hear one of my quotes from earlier. Because I said something about, like, holes and going in them. Oh yeah, hook shot. And that's all I need for this area. It's almost like I was just here. Now these mini things are causing me to not hit the thing. Damn it. Enough with these distractions! Yes, trends, woo-woo. Alright, one more set should do. Yeah, these little mini things are like those creatures, like those slug creatures from Devil May Cry 3. It's like, they're not really, like, dangerous, but they're just annoying and they can distract you very easily. There we go. Oh yeah, nearly 100 followers. I'm so happy you could reach that goal so quickly. Yeah, I'm really close. Like, I'm really excited for it. Like, hopefully with the stream on Friday, I reach that milestone. But for the stream on Friday, I'll probably turn off, like, chat alerts and, like, the alert box just so I have the straight-up, like, VOD of the interview. But I guess it doesn't matter if I record it along with streaming it, so I guess I might just do both. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I still need to actually, I maybe need to email him, Matt Hill, again and, like, make sure he got the last one. Because I know that he's probably busy, but at the same time I want to, like, confirm the time and everything. Imagine if someone redeemed hot sauce on Friday. Well, I probably, like, I don't want to, like, burst anyone's bubble, but I probably wouldn't accept the redeem, and I would refund it, just because it's more of a professional context, and I would rather not do something like that in a professional context. Going with the final fight, I see I've been here just eating dinner and watching a movie with the wife. What are you watching? But yeah, I know that's kind of a disappointing answer, but like, since it's going to be in a professional setting, I don't want to do something like that. Mona. Yeah, I know you weren't being serious. I just wanted to, like, for those who were probably hoping for that in chat, it's like, yeah, just, I wouldn't. When's the stream? I've got a job interview in the afternoon, so hopefully I don't miss it. So I don't know the exact time yet. I'm hoping for sometime in the morning. It'll really be up to Matt Hill. Like, I'm still waiting for a response on that. Like, let me actually check my email real quick while I'm in this, like, pseudo cutscene. Okay, he hasn't responded yet. So I think I'm going to send him an additional email and be like, okay, so this is, like, how does this time sound? And hopefully, like, noon-ish. Like, I'm hoping that'll be a good time. Also, I probably should have been paying attention because I didn't read a single thing the King of the Lions just said. Okay, so that just leads me back in here. Sorry, what? What do you mean, Blaze? Oh, boomerang. I see. I mean, I kind of get the point, game. You don't have to show me each individual one. Unless I have to do it, like, in a certain order. But knowing my luck, that's probably what's gonna happen. Yep. As suspected. Maybe it's like in the order of like the bosses that I fought. Something about noon. I was gonna say, probably like Friday at noon. That might be whenever we're doing the interview with Matt Hill. Proof this game doesn't know how boomerangs actually work. Yeah, like actually trying to catch a real boomerang, like that's hard. Okay. There we go. Why, is that not a good time for you, Blaze? Okay, so the whole point of that was just to open a portal. Okay, so what about this room? Oh, there's fires, I see. No, it's fine, I just needed to know. Well, like I said, it's not set in stone, because I still have to email him and, like, figure out the time, because he hasn't emailed me back, and since it's, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, I need to get a hold of him and figure that out. Ah, Christ on a bike, what am I supposed to do? I mean, was this the order that, I needed for the boomerang? I guess this might be the room I needed for the order I needed for the boomerang. But at the same time, what am I supposed to do in here? Is the question. Because I remember I need a sword to open that door. So... help me. Oh, I'm so good at video games sometimes. Maybe the King of Red Lions has something witty to say. Because this room is where Phantom Ganon is supposed to appear, so... what if I use, like, the Wind's Requiem here? Just something stupid. Nothing. Okay, I'm looking up a walkthrough because I'm dumb. See, it seems like something that would be just so simple to do, but then there's me, and I overcomplicate things. Okay, so he's in the boomerang room. Sorry for the wait, Chad. I'm just trying to figure this out. Because I'm supposed to be able, because like in that room, I'm supposed to be able to read that stone, but for some reason it's not working. Yeah, because it looks like the person that's in this walkthrough is also stuck. Trying to figure out, like, I'm just gonna jump down! There we go. All I had to do was that, because I'm smart. thanks for the sweet-ass sword. Problem is, I can't do anything with it right now. Alright, I'm back for reals. Hey, Gray, welcome back. No! So, I guess I don't feel as bad now. Never seen moblins down here. Technically, I guess I don't have to fight Phantom Ganon down here. Just because, like, I'm not really getting, like, Okay, so back down there. You do gotta fight him? Like, every single time? Yes, please. Okay. Yeah, I know if it'd be great if you actually used the attack that I need to use on him. Fake Eno Rage! Woohoo! For the love of God, Phantom Ganon, use the attack for fuck's sake. It's like I don't have all day to wait for you to decide what attack you want to use. There you go. Okay, so it's pointing to that door. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, if you think this is bad, just imagine what Kingdom Hearts is going to be like whenever I play that. Like, because Kingdom Hearts has, like, some crazy bosses. Yeah, it's literally defying, like, the laws of gravity in order to fall the specific way that it needs to. I like the sound I like the dynamic music and the sound that it makes whenever you hit it. Like, it adds to the rhythm of the music. I've always loved that about Phantom Ganon's theme. But Phantom Ganon's theme, for those in the audience who have played, like, A Link to the Past and other Zelda games, Phantom Ganon's theme in this game is actually a remix of A Link to the Past Ganondorf's theme, or Ganon's theme, and Ganondorf's theme from Ocarina of Time. You know what? Oh wait, I have a fairy, so I can't use the empty bottle trick. Now, you weren't kidding when you said like 7 times. It's like, knowing me, what if I like got stuck in an endless loop and I was just doing this over and over again because the game had glitched or something? I would be very angry, but at the same time, like, you know, you're like, oh, well, I guess it's unbeatable. Sorry. 7 days to die, or 7 days after you watch my stream, you will die. Because I don't think that I have the same, like, qualities of the videotape from The Ring. Or like that scene from Scary Movie that's the parody of it. It's like, 7 days. Billy Mays? 7 days. The first, like, 3 Scary Movies are fun. Like, they're funny movies, but I think anything after Scary Movie 4 is just pushing it a little much. But I would say my favorite comedy by far is Spaceballs. Like, Mel Brooks is just a comedic genius. And I'm honestly shocked that Mel Brooks still had a show in him. Like, he's doing History of the World Part 2 as a Hulu series. The man's like 98 and he's still directing. Like him, Clint Eastwood, William Shatner, like, I'm still surprised. Well, Scary Movie 3 just had so many fun parodies in it. Like, I like the scene where I think his name is Shorty, where he gets, like, this gang together, and then they're gonna, like, fight the aliens. And then, like, one bumps into each other, and then just have a shootout and kill each other. Yeah, Mel Brooks is, like, comedic genius. I love his films. Like, The Producers, Spaceballs, History of the World Part 1, Men in Tights. Like, most of my favorite comedies are Mel Brooks films. I like how the light arrows conveniently disintegrate everything on his person with the exception of his sword. It's like the sword, I guess, just doesn't apply to the light arrows. I mean, the sword is, like, shaded in darkness like him, so I would imagine that it would get disintegrated with him. I introduced my best friend to Spaceballs not that long ago. Yeah, Spaceballs is just such a great movie. Like, if anyone in the chat hasn't seen it, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. Because there's just, like, all these 80s sci-fi films, it just parodies, and I love it. And Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet is fantastic. Mel Brooks as Yogurt and President Scroob. Probably one of my favorite gags in that movie is like they have to get like the password to this air dome that's on the planet because they're trying to steal the air from a planet in order to provide it to their planet that has no atmosphere. So the password to get into the air dome is 12345, and then they're saying it super seriously, and then Dark Helmet's like, "That's the stupidest combination I've ever heard in my life. It's something an idiot would have in his luggage." And then President Scroob comes into the room, and they're like, "The password is 12345." And he's like, "That's amazing. I have the same combination on my luggage." It's probably one of my favorite gags in that whole film. That and the ludicrous speed gag. It's like, "Prepare ship for light speed." No, light speed's too slow. Light speed too slow. Yes, we're gonna have to go into ludicrous speed. Spaceball 1. They've gone to plaid. We're men in tights. We travel around the woods looking for fights. Princess Bride is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, anyone who has not seen The Princess Bride in my friend group, or even chat, like, I will legitimately have us watch that movie sometime, because it is one of my favorite films, and I just think that everyone has to see it at least once. It's just so good. It's like, it's a really great love story, but it's also a great comedy, too. And Andre the Giant is in it. Your radar is jammed, and it's delicious. The radar appears to be jammed. Raspberry. There's only one man in the universe who would dare use the raspberry. Lone Star. I like at the end of that movie, like, they land on Earth, like in the Planet of the Apes universe. And the apes just, like, pull out their binoculars and they see them coming out of, like, the Mega Maid, which looks like the Statue of Liberty. They're like, "Spaceballs? Oh shit, there goes the planet." We watched Blazing Saddles in a film class, all the best lines I cannot repeat. So many jokes about how it will only be, like, 7 minutes long. Well, see, like, I think it was in Men in Tights with Achu, right? Like, Dave Chappelle. Because it also has one of my favorite gags with Blinken. It's like, "Hey, Blinken, did you say Abe Lincoln?" I said that I did that gag at the Lincoln Memorial last year. Like, I actually have video of me doing that. Also, like, why is there a bed, like a canopy bed, in the middle of a flooded room? Like, why? Don't question the bed. Villainous sense of style. Well, at the very least, even though he doesn't want, like, he hates Zelda, at the very least, like, he made her comfortable while he captured her. I mean, heck, he even has his own insignia on the covers, like, so obviously he has some sort of promotional deal or, like, some sort of manufacturing capacity. Your gods destroyed you! How dare they? Oh my god, Robin, you've lost your arms, but you grew some nice boobs. Oh god, what was the quote in Princess Bride? It was like, you know, there's a shortage of women with perfectly good breasts in the world. And there's me, who's flat as a board, but I've got a dress on, so that counts for something, right? Oh, I should also probably save, because I'd rather not do all of that over again. I like how they make guitar string sounds whenever I hit them. Oh, do I have to hit it with a light arrow? Is that what it is? Ooh, the most underwhelming fight in the game. Eno is cute. Cute, but also flat as a board. It's a good thing Kara's not watching the stream, because I'd rather not hurt a bat in her presence. Ah, I can't aim directly at it. Why? I mean, at least he's smart enough to guard his, quite literally his family jewels. Did the game just fucking crash? Did the game just fucking crash? No! No! Okay, but I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Nope, it's dead. Like, it is really dead. God damn it! Every time! Every single time! It's like, I couldn't get away with doing a stream successfully. I had to have that happen. Maybe I should have save stated. I mean, saving the game is good, but maybe save stating would have been better, because I would have just been able to continue from right there. Bringing up the thighs kills it every time. Yeah! Every time the thighs are brought up, the stream just dies. Like the time I tried showing them on stream, and then the stream just cut out completely. At the very least, I'm right here, so it's not, like, too far. Sure, run away now that you crashed the stream. Not only that, I can also, like, speed up the game to skip the cutscene, too. So it's not too big a deal. I just tuned in for a second. I was wondering if that was actually what Ganon looks like in this game. Here, I'll even speed it up now. And like this. Okay, good. It just, like, throws me back into the boss battle. But that was such bullshit, though. Like, I was so close, and then suddenly, game crash. It's like, oh, you know, you want to beat Wind Waker? Well, too bad. We're gonna crash your game. Wouldn't it be awesome if I still had the same boss progress, though? Like, it still had the same amount of damage? I'll be looking a bit, cleaning my room. Hey, no problem, Blaze. I just hope the game doesn't crash again. Because if it does, then that might be the farthest I can physically get in Wind Waker without the game crashing. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, I'm glad that Kara's not in the stream, because I feel bad for killing the bats. Oh, my boomerang's having a little trouble getting on the target. Just gotta pop Ganon's blue ball. Shut up, Gray! Don't ever say that again! Oh, shoot. Oh no, more Karas. I'm sorry, Kara. But I promised myself I would beat Wind Waker, and I will. Yeah, not only is this boomerang like really good at tracking and defying gravity, but it's also really good at... Oh, he's gonna... Yep. Didn't do it in time. But it's also like sharp enough to cut these things. At least I got the boomerang out. There it is. I defeated Puppet Ganon! Woohoo! Yeah, it's never that easy. Okay, now I'm fighting Jess, apparently. Inside jokes from the Time Spirit community that I'm a part of, but... Ah, these freaking bats, man! Well, at least he popped up right there. And I missed! And there's more bats! Yeah, I'm not gonna make it in time. I'm very tempted to use a light arrow on one of the bats just out of frustration. Oh, for crying out loud, bats. Really? Look at the water, silly. Yeah, I would if I wasn't being distracted by bats. Boomerang doesn't believe the Fire Nation did anything wrong. Can I literally just stand in the spot? Yeah, I didn't even have to move an inch. Enos would make a great stormtrooper. Well, I don't know who this Enos person is. My name is Eno. Your winner.
Yep.
No, Kara, I'm so sorry. They're technically they're not bats. They're geese. They're geese. Wiz, you ratted me out. Why? But no, I didn't kill bats. I killed geese. They're different species. No, they're not bats. I'm sorry, Kara. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I won't kill any more bats. I won't kill any more bats. Also, for those in the chat, go give Kara a follow. They just wanted to give me a keys. Oh, great. Take your dad jokes and tell me more, because I love dad jokes. And puns. Now, Eno committed one of the classic blunders this time. Oh. And I feel bad. But then again, the geese were attacking me, not the other way around, so I can make an argument for, like, hey, it was self-defense against them for attacking me first. Yes, we do need to get the three of us on VRC. Because I was very close to actually seeing you in VR chat, Kara, but then the moment that I got there, you'd already left. No. I wouldn't intentionally harm any bats. They did attack me first. It's like... Okay. In here. You invaded their home? How did I invade their home whenever... Like, I don't think that the natural habitat of these geese is going to be in this tower that Ganondorf created. They were just being coy. I mean, fair, but they also set themselves on fire and attacked me, too, earlier. Oh yeah, I gotta use the hook shot, that's right. Bat's nest, wherever they decide is home. Well, I had a bat that was, every summer would eat insects out of my pool. Like, all the insects that would fly around my pool out back, like, they would come out and eat, like, the mosquitoes and wasps and stuff. Kari should know after he beats the bats, he pretended his game crashed so he could reset and kill them again. Well, if Minecraft bats say anything, all bats in the game are just prone to lighting themselves on fire. I didn't pretend the game crashed. You heard it and saw it crash. It's like, I don't have magical powers. Like, I do have magical powers, but, as a spirit, but it's like I don't have the power to instantly crash my game the moment that I say crash. Damn, didn't just throw him under the bus, he was driving it. I had a Minecraft bat named Kara, remember that? Also, should we mention what he did to the Zubat during the Nuzlocke? What did I do to the Zubat? But then again, I was also playing the Nuzlocke with Kara, so... Shakes you, what did you do? There's so much happening during those, I hardly process anything during our Nuzlocke. Yeah, I completely forgot which Zubat you're talking about. I mean, there's multiple Zubats. Yeah, because, like, realistically, there has to be at least one Ganondorf that's like, yeah, I'm done with this cycle. Like, let's just end it. Because to be honest, when you think about it, Link and Ganondorf are just both slaves to their reincarnation cycle. Ganondorf forever fated to fight Link and Link and Zelda forever fated to fight Ganondorf. I'm sorry, Kara. I'm sorry. If you play VR chat together, then yeah, you'll have full permission to punch me in the nose. You know, Ganondorf really should have just pushed the king out of the way and just did this. Like, I mean, his hand is still outstretched like that. Speaking of which, I just evolved mine to a Crobat at level 30. It's like, this is the main story that we're seeing is, like, we're fighting Ganondorf, and then there's the side quest and side story of Kara and the bat. Why is Ganon shaped like a burrito? Yeah, he kind of is, now that I think about it. Be tasty. Well, don't we have Tasty Sandwich in the chat? So it's like, we're drowning with Hyrule, and also, why is there lightning when this is just the ocean water coming down on top of us? And if we're drowning Ganondorf, why did the king, why did he do that when we're still here? Why didn't he just, adjust his wish a little bit? I stick drink. Oh yeah, I've also got Granny's soup, too. Well, I guess I don't need to use it right now. I'll have the skull hammer right though. I also want to point out that Hero's Charm does not give him a health bar, so that's cool. Show him the deed, establish dominance with your land ownership. Okay. See, Ganondorf, I own my own private island. Like, you know, I think I win. Like, what do you have? A fortress that's abandoned? Toss the soup at him. Here, what else can I bring out? Just here. I'll play some music for him. The effects of its tune you conducted can only be seen in places where the sun and moon are visible. I guess I'd probably use the soup. It's like, here, let me stop time for a second so I can eat this soup. See, I think I'm waiting for a parry, I guess? Yeah, there we go. Your health seems unusually low for endgame. Yeah, well, I've also skipped a lot of, like, piece of art stuff. Like, I just wanted to finish the game. I didn't want to do all the side stuff. There you are. How's your nap, Zelda? Remember Bomberman, that boss that would laugh at you? Yeah. I hated that boss so much. Well, at least he knows how to dodge now. Because before... I think I gotta parry him and then she hits him, I guess? Here, let me stop time to drink my soup. Here, Zelda, give me the damn bow. I can shoot better than you, and I'm a stormtrooper. You know, you have to distract him. Are you ready? I'll aim for you and you use your shit. Well, gee, I'm glad that you figured this out after missing your shot like 5 times. Jeez, you aim worse than stormtroopers. Like, we went from stormtrooper to, like, hunter-gatherer. See, it's not a skill issue on my part, it's a skill issue on Zelda's part, because she can't shoot for shit. Shoot! Your aim is still worse. If you don't put your shield up, she just shoots you. Yeah, Link getting disintegrated by the light arrow. There we go. graphic for a Zelda game. Yeah, let's not forget that at the end of this game, Ganondorf is literally just frozen at the bottom of the ocean. Like, he's still, like, you remove that Master Sword, and he's gonna come right back to life. Guaranteed. So, like, hundreds of years in the future, whenever they need the Master Sword again, they'll take it out from the bottom of the ocean with, like, a submarine or something, and then Ganondorf just comes back to life. To be honest, I don't see, like, a lot of wrong with, like, say, for example, if they just reworded the wish, it's like, hey, like, let Hyrule come back up, but imprison Ganondorf somewhere where, or something, like, or just, like, send Ganondorf to another dimension. Like, I know that didn't work the first time, but they could have done something different where they could have, like, had Hyrule, like, exist. Did you see my wish? What was your wish? That land will not be Hyrule. It will be your land. And spoiler alert, they call it New Hyrule because they just don't care. Send Ganon to the surface of the sun. Wishes must be half a tweet long at most. They must be 150 characters. Really, though, why didn't they just, like, the king could have very easily just came with them. Like, I mean, you don't need, there's no room for sentimentality here. Just go with them. I mean, the world's already lost enough. Like, I mean, you could use your kingliness to help rebuild, and wow, the graphics got, like, super compressed. I think this is because it's an FMV. Pre-rendered cutscene, not in-game. Yeah, so this is like... I didn't think this was a pre-rendered cutscene. Like, it's now GameCube-ified. I mean, what kind of solution is please drown the entire freaking planet? Yeah, like I said, just, like, revive Hyrule, but do it in a way that Ganondorf can't come back. Like, I mean, yeah, let's just have the world flooded where, like, our land masses are really limited and resources are hard to come by. I mean, this isn't Waterworld, for God's sake. I mean, we don't have a multi-million-dollar Hollywood budget that creates a box office flop. We've got mountaintops of islands that could have easily been fixed had you reworded your wish. Noah's Ark, yes, exactly. I mean, technically they fix it with, in Spirit Tracks, where there's that whole new landmass, like a new continent, but at the same time... I don't know, like, Wind Waker, like, it's a great Zelda game, but it had a lot of, like, the sequels had some problems, and not just because they were inherently DS titles, but mostly because, like, the story that they could tell was very, like, limited, because they had the ocean. Like, that's all they could do was with stuff with the ocean. So, in Spirit Tracks, they're like, okay, well, we take Link over to a new landmass, and this is 100 years later. I wish the Gerudo could never birth a male. Like, wouldn't that fix all the timelines? I mean, fair enough, but if we're talking, like, Like, because of how weird the timeline is right now, technically Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf exists at the same time frame. Like, just under the water somewhere. Okay, how about I just skip through the credits like this? The reason for all the water is they wanted to make a really travel-heavy Zelda game, but they didn't have the power to make a really vast landscape. Water is a lot easier to render. Yeah, and I think that was a blessing and a curse, because, like I said earlier, the problem that I had with Wind Waker, and a lot of people had with it, is that the ocean's fairly empty. There's not really a lot to see. So, like, it's not like Hyrule Field where you can just stop by some tree and then there's, like, a pit that you can go in where you can find, like, some extra rupees or a piece of heart or something. Yeah, and I love this game, but, like, I'm glad that the Wii U version really fixed a lot of those issues with the sailing. Like, the swift sail being added. Also, I like how he has the King of Red Lions still, but it's just, like, it's just a boat now. Now for the darkest part, Link exploring the ocean and the king's discarded boat corpse. And then he got struck by lightning and washed up on Colent. So Zelda was the pirate girl? Yep, Tetra. Or rather, like, I don't necessarily call her Zelda. Like, Tetra was more of, like, she's a descendant of the royal family. So, yeah, she's related, but I wouldn't call her Zelda, just, like, in the same way that you wouldn't call yourself, like, your great-grandmother or great-grandfather. Like, she's just a descendant of the bloodline. So, that part doesn't kind of make sense. Yeah, when you start a new game, it'll let you, I think it starts off, like, immediately with the color pictograph. Then you also have, well, I guess I got a little bit of time, I can check it out. But I will, speed things up a little bit, because this introduction bit takes forever. I mean, the king calls her Zelda, and her figure in the gallery says that too. Yeah, that's completely fair. But then again, like I said, she's a descendant of the royal family, and her birth name was Tetra, so it's like, I wouldn't call her Zelda in the same way that, like, you wouldn't call yourself, like, your great-grandparents, or your great-great-grandparents. Like, you're different people. Like, unless you have, like, some naming convention where it's like, okay, you're Zelda the Second, or Zelda the Third, or what have you. I don't know, it just doesn't make too much sense to me. Like, yes, she's the descendant of the bloodline. Like, because it implies that Zelda is more of a title than it is an actual name. At least in this context. Like, I hope that I'm making sense with what I'm saying, but, like, because it feels more like Zelda's a title rather than an actual name, with how the king shows Tetra that she is in fact Princess Zelda, but a descendant of them. Oh hey, she's wearing the pirate outfit too. Sorry for the speediness. I feel like it's related to reincarnation. Like, we aren't Link, but we are the hero. Speed cube. Yeah, so you also get the color picto box, the deluxe picto box by default. And then all of the Hylian text is in English, so like all the stuff that you couldn't read before is now fully legible. So that's the bonuses of having New Game Plus, and I honestly completely forgot there was a New Game Plus for Wind Waker. For a while, at least. But it's cool because you don't have to do the color Pictobox side quest. I think I get it. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I'm really bad at explaining things, but I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of an example. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I'm going to see if there's anyone I can raid out to. Tropical shirt and Tears of the Kingdom's Link shirt. Yeah! Yeah, there's a lot of, like, Wind Waker stuff in Tears of the Kingdom that somewhat fits, but not always. Okay, but thank you all for tuning into the stream. That's the end of Wind Waker, so the next game will be up for determination on my part. So next Friday I'm going to be buying Kingdom Hearts, so I'll be starting that. Probably the next stream that's game-wise will probably be finishing Final Fantasy 15, and then I'll just kind of start some new games from there. But I'm going to go ahead and raid out to Black Spidey, or BLK Spidey, or just Spidey if you will. They're a fellow VTuber. They're really sweet, very kind, really fun to play games with, so I'm going to go ahead and raid out to them. So, thank you all for joining me in my realm today with all the frustration that I had with this game, and then I'll see you all in the next one. I'll go ahead and start that raid. And stick around for the raid if you'd like. If not, I'll be seeing you next time.